Hi everybody and welcome to episode 90 of our walkthrough on Ride 2. That is crazy guys, 90 videos. Right guys, in today's episode we are testing out another R1 category bike and it's the AGUSTA F4RR 2014. Now I came against this bike online and it was absolutely killing everybody in the corners. It's just so good, so I want to test it out for myself because it's one I haven't tested out yet, so I thought why not. And we may do a little setup on it in today's episode and we're going to do it for short circuits, not long circuits. Test it out if you want guys, let me know in the comments if you do. Right, let's get into the stats of this bike and then we're going to get into two really good races guys, so here we go. Guys, looking at the stats of this bike, it's pretty impressive. 9.7 acceleration, 9.6 braking power, and both top speed and handling 9.8. That's up there with the best of the R1 category bikes. I'm looking forward to trying this one out. Plus, like I said, I'm going to do a short circuit setup in today's episode, and hopefully it'll be a good one. So let's get straight into the first race, guys, and hopefully have a good race. Also guys, I'm turning all the assist off and not using any anti-wheelie. So if you do use anti-wheelie and the assist guys, it's only going to help you with the setup because it's going to be a little bit more stable. But I like doing it with all the assist turned off, so that's what I'm going to do. Let's get straight into this first race and see how good this bike is. Right, so here we go with this first race with this short circuit setup as well, and plus I've altered the gearing, so hopefully that should help me with my acceleration. And off we go. Let's keep that front wheel down and try and get a good line into that first corner. That's not a bad start. Get those brakes on. God, I went in there a little bit hot but managed to hold it. Sometimes that first corner can be very tricky, but I managed to get away with it. Right, let's see what it's like around the corners. That's not too bad, just trying to keep it nice and smooth. Let's go around the outside of the RC8. Let's try and get a nice line here. Oh my God, it's really hugging the curbs there. That's nice. Let's just try and get nice and tight around that, trying to hold the speed, going a little bit wider. I've got a bike sitting right on my right shoulder. Oh God, dived up the inside there, nice and controlled. Can we take the other place here? Nice little move, and we're into the lead already. So there you go, it's nice and tight into the corners, and we've just got to be nice and controlled. Again, just being careful that I don't overdo it. This circuit can be really challenging, and the reason why I did a short circuit setup, because I thought some of the setups I do don't always work for every single circuit, so I'm going to choose two reasonably short circuits, and hopefully when you race online, this setup should work on them. So let's see if we can get a nice turn into this section and slowly open it. And God dear, this bike is certainly powerful and it's going to have a decent top end as well. But we have reduced the gearing slightly, but I will show you that in the setup, because this circuit you don't get up to maximum speeds. You don't need a really long gearing ratio for this circuit. Right, just get nice and smooth around there and drive it. Oh God, getting a nice little wheelie, and again just trying to keep that front wheel down. Like I said, I'm not using any anti-wheelie, so with a bike this powerful you're going to have to contend with a few wheelies here and there. You just got to be really careful you don't go off the back of the bike. Right, oh God, we've got a little bit of trouble here. Someone's just caught up. Let's just try and hold our position. He's gone on the outside. Let's just take the inside line. I must have slowed down slightly. Let's just try and pick the pace up again as we are leading the race. Let's just try and hold it, and it should be nice and smooth. I always seem to go wider on that corner there. I find that you do get a lot of bikes coming running down the inside of you. Just taking that outside line does give you a good drive down to that section, and hugging those sections, try and get as much curb there as well, just to give you a nice smooth run up for them sections. Again, just keep it nice and smooth. It sets you up for that section, so this is going really well. We're starting to pull away as well, which is always good. Right, slow it down, coming up, slow it down, be careful. Oh God, just turned a little bit early there, and that's given me a penalty, but that does happen quite a lot for me on this circuit, but it's only a little penalty, and as long as we keep the distance from the others, it shouldn't matter. I don't always carry on if I get a penalty. I like to keep my races nice and clean, but I'll let that one go just for now as I'm showing you these setups. Right, let's just try and get a nice line. That corner can be very tricky. You've got to try and brake really early, and because I've altered the gearing, you will get a nice acceleration out of that turn as well, because I've lowered the first few gears as well, just to give you that extra punch, and it does work. Right, get a nice tight line. Let's see if we can put in a slightly better lap now, keep it nice and tight, and see if we can just finish this off and take the win. Now, like I said, we're going to do another short circuit in the second race, and hopefully we can have another good race, but we're absolutely dominating the field here on this bike, and I can't believe I forgot to try this one out. Now, I have pretty much tried all the R1 category bikes, but not this one, and it only came up because I came against it online, and it was absolutely killing me. Oh God, be careful, just tap the power a little bit early there, try and keep it steady, but yeah, it was really hard to beat in the corners, and I was struggling to change direction. I think I was on the Aprilia for the races, and I just couldn't believe it was killing me when I was on the Aprilia. The Aprilia is an amazing bike with awesome stats, but the F4 seemed to have the edge, so I thought, why not try it? Now, we are probably, if you want to see a setup on this bike for long circuits, I will do that too, but I'd rather get a lot of people asking for it rather than just the odd one here and there. We've got to have quite a bit of interest, and I will do another setup on it, guys, because some of these setups are useful to use if you do a lot of racing online, because you do race the R1 and R2 category bikes quite a lot. Right, we're coming to the last turn here. This has been an awesome race, and we should be able to get the wheel up. Be careful, let's get that wheel up again. There you go, victory. And that bike was absolutely superb, I must admit, guys. It's a little bit hard to handle, obviously, because I'm not using any anti-wheelie, and all the assists are turned off, but like I said, it is definitely a very good strong bike for this category, but we're going to test it out in a second race just to make sure that this setup does work on short circuits. Let's get straight into the next race, so here we go. Right, guys, we're going to be using that setup again, but around Sugo, another short circuit, one that is used quite a lot online, so I thought, why not test it out on this circuit. Again, we're turning all the assists off. Let's get straight into the race. Right, so here we go with the second race. Let's see if we can get a good start, because the first couple of corners around Sugo can be very tough. Now let's see if we can get a good start. Now I have adjusted the gearing, so I should get a good pull off here. Oh, look at it wiggling around trying to get traction. Oh my God, that was extreme, but that's because I've adjusted the gearing. Right, get a nice turn. Oh, awesome first corner. Can we get a nice second corner? Try and get a nice drive. Be careful, nice and smooth. Oh, what a couple of corners that was, and we're in the lead already. Oh, that worked perfectly. Now I think you do have to adjust the gearing for this circuit, because you don't get up to top speed a lot, and you want to get a really good drive out of some of these slow corners, and that worked perfectly. So far so good with the short circuit setup. Right, let's just try and keep it nice and smooth into this turn, and we will just open this beast and see what sort of power it has got, and see what sort of speed we can get up to on this long straight. And it's not too bad, so you don't reach obviously your maximum speed on this gear ratio, so having this gear ratio on quite low has worked nicely. Oh God, be careful. Using no anti-wheelie is always tricky out of slow corners, but I do like not using it. I just like wheeling. Right, now this corner can be very tricky online. You've got to try and get like quite a rhythm and try and get the maximum drive. So I wait until I get a nice line, and I can feel it turning in nicely, using the front brake to turn the front in, and then open it out. And again, look, we're just absolutely killing the field. Now the AI on realistic on the R1 category bikes are not slow by any stretch of the imagination. They can give you one hell of a race on quite a few circuits, but this bike is absolutely killing them. Because I got a good start, it set me up, and I'm setting the pace. Now, I'm probably not going to set any world record lap times, as, like I said, I'm using no anti-wheelie, which does slow me down. I must say it does, because you do have to sort of not full throttle it a lot, because you know you're going to get a lot of that front wheel going up. But it's still going to set some half decent times. And again, it's just got through that section nice. And look at it, you can easily get wheelies up on this bike because I've got the lower gearing, and plus it does possess a hell of a lot of power. But it also slows down and gets into those tight turns very nicely. Again, that's slowed down nicely, and it hasn't really affected the suspension too much. It's not like very unstable. It feels very, very controlled, which is always good. Again, I went into there pretty hot then and still managed to stop it and get it turned in. So that is a good sign. I do like to have a bike which does have a lot of durability. I don't like a very stiff bike which is very awkward to change direction. I like them to be nice and smooth, drop into the corners nicely, and this one definitely ticks those boxes. So yes, that's very good. Right, so we're going into the last lap. Can we finish it off in style and get a nice run into the last couple of corners and hopefully pull a couple of wheelies? But yeah, this has definitely been a decent tryout on one of the R1 category bikes, and I've done a few on the channel, and I've got to say this is definitely up there with the best. I definitely would like to probably do another video. I might do some time trials with all the R1 category bikes and see which one performs the best, or we do like a split video. We'd start off with like short circuits and test them all out, and then we'd do a long circuit and we see which one is capable, because I can be quite consistent with times, and hopefully we can see which one really is the best. But also guys, there is a couple of R2 category bikes I haven't tried yet, and that is another strong category online, and that's what I like to do, is try and get some setups that other people can use online. And if you want to join us on some of the live streams we've done on Ride 2, don't forget to friends request me. I'd love you all to join. It was absolutely brilliant, the one we've done recently, and I'd like to do more of them because it's very enjoyable and it's just a laugh. It's nothing serious, guys. It's just really good racing on some of these bikes and just enjoying it. Right, let's just try and get a nice drive around this section and try and get that wheel up if we can. Oh god, I just lost it there. No, we're not going to get the wheel up. We've got to a maximum speed. But there you go, guys. We finish it off anyway. We absolutely won by a country mile. Those other bikes just could not handle the pace of this MV Augusta F4RR. So we're going to get into the setup in a minute, guys, but yes, this is definitely a strong contender, and this might change your mind. I know a lot of people use the Aprilia and the BMW, but I say try this one out. You never know, you might prefer this one. So let's get into the setup now, guys, and this is for short circuits, so here we go. Right, so let's check out the suspension setup. Now, I didn't have to adjust a lot on this setup. Stiffness, I lowered it slightly more on the rear than the front, so that seemed to work. Preload I had quite low. Compression, damping and rebound, I didn't really have to alter a lot. I only tweaked it slightly. It's like I said, the bike seemed pretty good even on the default setup, so there's only a few tweaks there. Right, so let's have a look at the gearing. Now on the gearing, I left it on final ratio 4, but I went lower on the first and second gear and 3 for the rest of them, and that seemed to give it enough and good acceleration around the short circuits. Now the handlebars I didn't need to adjust because it just felt very, very smooth, guys. So that's the setup for short circuits, but if you do want to see one for long circuits, please don't forget to let me know in the comments, and let me know in the comments whether you use this setup and if you like it. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you soon. Thank you so much, and bye-bye.